and he gave all his points to Wang Maple. At the same time, General Xianlan and many powerful experts from various major sects in the Divine Descent City were paying attention to the ranking of the demon ceiling list on the square. Jade Emerald Heir Apparent unexpectedly ranked first with 30,000 points. Many powerful experts from various major sects couldn't help but show a hint of emotion on their faces. The Jade Emerald Heir Apparent is indeed the leader of the younger generation of the Empire. In a short period, he has earned 30,000 points. Such an achievement would even be able to rank among the top in the past demon sealing conventions of the older generation. The Feathered Sect Elder looked towards a figure not far away and solemnly said, "The top spot of this demon sealing assembly undoubtedly belongs to the Jade Emerald Heir Apparent. What surprises me is that the junior sect leader Gu Longji from the Eternity C sect has managed to secure the second place with 20,000 points." Elder Chen from the Eternity C sect chuckled and said, "Elder Lin, your Feathered Sect's junior sect leader Yutai is also quite strong. He is already catching up to our Eternity C sect's junior sect leader." The elder from the Feathered Sect shook his head with a smile and said, "We can't compare to your Eternity C sect. You have several top disciples who are ranked in the top 20, while our Feathered Sect only has 3. Just as Elder Chen was about to say something, a disciple suddenly exclaimed, "Where did Feng Black Ink go all of a sudden?" Elder Chen immediately gave him a dissatisfied look. "What do you mean gone? Can't you speak properly?" Then, Elder Chen stood up and chuckled. "It must be Feng Black Ink's increase in points. No need to make a big fuss about it." But when he found out that Feng Black Ink's name was actually not on the demon sealing list, he immediately had a sudden change in facial expression. Elder Chen suddenly looked astonished and said, "General Xianlan, the name of my sect's talented disciple, Feng Black Ink, has suddenly disappeared from the demon sealing list. Do you think there might be a problem with the demon sealing list?" Xianlan just gave him an indifferent glance. The demon sealing list was personally created by His Majesty, and it cannot have any issues. The only possibility is that Feng Black Ink was killed by someone, which would result in his name being removed from the demon sealing list. Elder Chen can no longer sit still. Who would dare to touch the pride of our Eternity C sect? Just then, the beautiful woman from Skyheart Sect suddenly spoke up to remind Elder Chen. "Look, the points of Immortal Being Sect leader Wang Maple are exactly the same as Feng Black Ink's points. Maybe he is the one who killed him. Otherwise, how could it be such a coincidence?" Feng Black Ink's name had just disappeared, and he immediately jumped to the top 20 rankings. Elder Chen immediately looked fiercely at Simon Snowfall and sternly shouted, "Wang Maple, you have such guts! Since your sect leader dares to provoke me, the pride of Eternity C sect, then don't blame this elder for being ruthless and having to take your lives as compensation." Elder Chen's entire body then surged with a strong and deep mystic chi fluctuation. The terrifying water currents suddenly formed and pressed down towards Simon Snowfall and the others. The beautiful woman immediately showed a cold smile. Elder Chen is a powerful figure from the Middle Mystic Emperor's Immortal Being Sect, this time destined to die. At the same time, the surging water current swiftly changed in the air. Forming a terrifying dragon head, it violently rushed out. Just as the water dragon was about to crash down, Simon Snowfall moved. He suddenly closed his fingers together, his eyes devoid of any emotion, extremely indifferent. Then, the formless sword gently pierced. A supreme sword aura suddenly flashed out. The sword aura pierced straight toward the giant water long. The dazzling sword aura shot through the water long and directly towards Elder Chen. Then the sword aura directly pierced through his throat, killing him instantly. And then, that ultimate sword aura did not stop. It shot towards Xianlan with an unstoppable momentum. However, Xianlan simply raised his hand lightly. He blocked the sword energy. He was shocked when he saw the mosquito on his fingertip. He actually casually killed a Middle Mystic Emperor stage expert with a mosquito. He immediately ordered decisively, "Someone, go investigate the origin of this Immortal Being Sect." After this scene unfolded, everyone present couldn't help but take a sharp intake of breath. The beauty had never expected such a result. She had never imagined that the people of the Immortal Being Sect would be even more terrifying, one after another. Elder Bamboo Liar's cherry-red lips slightly opened, with a look of astonishment and confusion on her pretty face. They first used root ribbons to tear off one arm of Four Directions Hall Ghost Elder. Then, they killed Eternity's Sect Elder Chin with a mosquito. What kind of sect is the Immortal Being Sect exactly? Strings Elder could only helplessly shake his head. I don't know either. But I know that the Immortal Being Sect is an entity that Melody and must be on good terms with. The man not only publicly took away the prince's fiancée and made her his disciple. He even fought for treasures in other sects. He also wants to wipe out all these forces. Just now, Simon Snowfall unleashed a sword move that could amaze the world. He killed a powerhouse at the Mystic Emperor's stage with a snap of his fingers. But Wang Maple, who was in the demon sealing place, was staring at a strange flower on the ground. And nearby this strange flower, there are already two groups of people confronting each other. One group is a wave of monks in cassocks. The other group is cultivators wearing robes embroidered with feathers. While Wang Maple and others were hiding under a pitch-black tree, observing them. Fatty Li Ching couldn't help but grin slyly and said, "The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. With such a cunning and malicious sect leader like Immortal Being Sect, how could they not prosper?" Wang Maple, however, was somewhat puzzled and asked, "What are they doing around that big cabbage? Could it be that Taoists and monks are fighting over vegetarian meals?" Upon hearing this, Lee Skyheart quickly spoke up and explained, "That flower is called a purple spiritual mythic flower. The purple spiritual mythic pellet refined from it can increase the probability of breaking through from the Royal Lord stage pinnacle to the Mystic Emperor stage by 50%. Such heavenly materials and earthly treasures of the Royal Lord stage pinnacle are indeed enticing. No wonder they are fighting over them." Moo Floating Cloud couldn't help but praise junior sister Lee. She truly lives up to her title as an 8th-grade Dan alchemist master. My injuries were so severe, but after taking her Dan pill, I healed so quickly. Wang Maple then asked Lee Skyheart if he recognized them. Lee Skyheart nodded decisively and replied, "The one in the Taoist robe is a leading disciple of the top martial sect, Feathered Sect. The outstanding genius leading them is Yi Feng. The other group belongs to the major sect, Non-Form Sect. The leader of their disciples is the top genius, No Thought." When Wang Maple heard this, his eyes lit up immediately. Is Non-Form Sect a sect of Path of the Buddha cultivators? Lee Skyheart couldn't help but explain with a tone of caution. Yes, Non-Form Sect is the only Buddhist sect within the three great empires. Even though their strength may not reach the level of the top major sects, they should not be underestimated, especially the Path of the Buddha with its peculiar attacking methods that catch people off guard. Wang Maple couldn't help but nod in agreement and secretly muttered, "If possible, I'd like to dig into the Non-Form Sect. After all, Buddhist disciples are not commonly seen." At this moment, Feathered Sect's Yi Feng spoke first. "Brother No Thought, this purple spiritual mythic flower is crucial to me. I wonder if Brother No Thought could let it go. If Brother No Thought is willing to let it go, I will owe Brother No Thought a personal favor. In the future, whenever you need my help, just say the word, and I will be there." But on No Thought's handsome face, a faint smile appeared. "Benefactor Yi, you are mistaken. Material possessions are external to the self. It would be better for me, a monk from the Non-Form Sect, to bring this purple spiritual mythic flower back to be used for spiritual salvation, rather than let it tempt people's hearts and minds." Yi Feng's eyes immediately turned cold. He cleared his throat twice. "The capable ones can possess treasures. Brother No Thought, if you refuse to let go, then we can only resort to a battle." Following that, behind Yi Feng, patches of feathers condensed, shimmering with a chilling light. Then, those dense feathers fused and intertwined, forming a white long coiling around the body. The disciple of the Feathered Sect burst into laughter at the sight. The Feathered Cloud Long is the most powerful inheritance cultivation method of our Feathered Sect. It can even force Senior Brother Yi to use the 9th layer. This smelly monk can be proud enough. But No Thought's expression remained unchanged, as if nothing had happened. The flame of No Form suddenly appeared all over his body, swirling around him. Accompanied by a chant, a golden great majestic heavenly dragon instantly condensed and appeared. The two did not waste any words. One gold and one white, two long shadows collided fiercely, and powerful force waves swept through. The area within 100 meters centered around No Thought, and Yifeng instantly split apart with a resounding boom. Floating Cloud couldn't help but ask out of curiosity, "Sect leader, in your opinion, which of these two will win?" Wang Maple immediately squinted his eyes and murmured, "Yifeng." However, at this moment, the white giant Long unexpectedly let out a sharp and piercing scream. I saw the golden shadow of Long suddenly burst out with a powerful momentum. It viciously bit onto the tail of the white Long. No Thought's eyes slightly narrowed as he growled, "The Buddhas of Prajna are without form or appearance." Suddenly, the golden dragon's figure enlarged countless times, opening its mouth to devour the white dragon in one gulp. Just as the disciples of the non-form sect thought that No Thought was about to win, Yifeng suddenly raised his hand and shouted, "1,000 feathered blades!" loudly. The Long's body immediately started to crackle, and white feathers kept shooting out from its body. Yifeng watched as the golden great majestic heavenly Long slowly began to dissipate. Yifeng immediately revealed a look of pride. However, just as Yifeng was about to say something, his face suddenly turned red, and he violently spurted out a mouthful of blood, only to see white Long shadow above, covered with this illusory scorching flame. Then the white Long is crushed by the golden Long shadow, turning into faint white light spots dispersing in the sky and earth. Feathered Sect disciple immediately revealed a hint of disbelief. Senior Brother Yi actually lost. The strength of this stinky monk is so powerful that even Senior Brother Yi is not his match. The demon that is said to slaughter humans has unexpectedly reappeared in the mortal world. And this demon is even appearing right under the nose of the Immortal Being Sect. It carried out bloody massacres. Just now, the great majestic heavenly dragon of No Thought unleashed its mighty power. He easily shattered Yifeng's white dragon shadow into pieces. Floating Cloud couldn't help but change expression when he saw the situation. "It looks like this time your judgment was off." But Wang Maple shook his head and said calmly, "Don't get agitated yet, the battle is not over." And No Thought clasped his hands together, glanced at Yifeng, and said, "It seems that Benefactor Yi is lost. I will take away this purple spiritual mythic flower." Yifeng gritted his teeth, his whole aura suddenly changed, and he said, "Who says I lost? This battle is not over yet." No Thought's expression suddenly froze. He exclaimed in shock, "Yifeng, the proud top genius of the Feathered Sect, is secretly refining demons?" At this moment, Yifeng's body erupted with an extremely terrifying aura, which was extremely chilling. Just a slight touch of this aura felt like falling into an icy cave. His skin was covered with densely packed demonic runes, each the size of a tadpole, making him look extremely fierce. Ling Fly Dancing and others did not know what demon was, while Lee Skyheart explained that demons are alien fiend demons that are aggressive and warlike, leaving devastation wherever they go. In ancient times, they invaded the entire Celestial Wave land in an attempt to conquer it. They turned all the cultivators into their slaves. Cultivators from Celestial Wave land united without hesitation to protect the entire continent and launched a monumental battle against the invading demons. In the end, Celestial Wave land emerged victorious in that battle, but it was a costly victory. Alternative lineages of cultivation, such as that of Dan Alchemist, gradually disappeared after that battle. However, remnants of that battle still linger on this continent. Powerful forces on the continent of Demon choose not to launch attacks against these demons that cannot harm the continent directly, nor do they send out strong cultivators to exterminate them. Instead, they view them as trials for cultivators across the entire continent. However, beings like him are not actually true demons. He is just a cultivator on the mainland who inherited a cultivation method left behind by a demon, which evolved into the demon race, like the mystic demon overlord who wreaked havoc on the Solar Radiance Empire 1,000 years ago. In fact, he obtained the inheritance of the demon's cultivation method, but unlike the mystic demon overlord, he is not affected by the violent aura carried in the inherited cultivation method. Ling Flydancing immediately realized this upon hearing it. No wonder the mystic demon overlord appears quite normal within this sect. As soon as this was said, Lee Skyheart immediately exclaimed in surprise. Is mystic demon overlord also a member of our Immortal Being Sect? Everyone looked at her at the same time and said, So you didn't know? Lee Skyheart's heart was filled with raging waves, as even the mystic demon overlord submitted under the Immortal Being Sect. At the same time, No Thought's eyes were fixed firmly on Yifeng. Yifeng, as a distinguished disciple of the Feathered Sect, knows well that demons bring calamity to the world, yet he has joined them. This is a heinous crime. But Yifeng laughed maniacally and said, So what if I become a demon? As long as I can become stronger, I am willing to become an evil spirit. As soon as the words fell, the feathers on Yifeng's arms instantly extended rapidly. He erupted with an extremely tyrannical aura. No Thought narrowly avoided the wings. But the little Gagas below did not have this kind of reaction speed. In just the blink of an eye, they were instantly killed by those extremely sharp wings. This scene made No Thought thoroughly furious. You are simply insane. You not only kill members of the non-form sect, but also spare no one, not even your own people. Yifeng just gave a sly smile. The secret of my cultivate demon can only be known by the dead. As soon as the words fell, his gigantic wings crossed and slashed out again. He easily split the great majestic heavenly long Dharma form into two sections. At the same time as the Dharma form shattered, blood immediately overflowed from the corners of No Thought's mouth. And Yifeng slowly approached, satisfied. Since cultivating my demonic technique, I have been hiding it and never revealing it. You can still be proud of revealing this demonic technique. The man simply showed the Dharma form of the Buddha slightly, and he actually made everyone present kneel down and worship. Even the Empire heir apparent thousands of miles away is no exception. Just now, No Thought suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Demon Yifeng. Although he is about to die here, he still firmly believes that evil will not prevail over righteousness, and someone will uphold justice. Just then Wang Maple suddenly floated up above the heads of the two, and interrupted saying, Here I am. Then Wang Maple casually flicked out a piece of broken wood. He directly pierced through Yifeng's demonic wings. And the disciples of the Immortal Being Sect slowly emerged from the dense forest. Wang Maple finally fell to the ground and said to No Thought, I can help you kill this demon intruder, but you have to follow me afterwards. Yifeng immediately burst into a wild laugh. I didn't expect a few more grasshoppers were hiding. You guys do have some courage. No Thought then glanced at Wang Maple, and then asked solemnly, Why should I betray the sect and follow you? Wang Maple spread out his hands and confidently said, I can offer you the opportunity to achieve enlightenment. No Thought couldn't help but feel that the person in front of him was crazy. You should know that only the non-form sect among the three Grand Emperors possesses the lineage of the path of the Buddha. Wang Maple is confident for this reason. Only because he recently drew a special reward for the path of the Buddha cultivation method, which he can show off with. Wang Maple didn't waste any words, and simply clasped his hands together, slowly uttering, Buddha manifests for me. His words had just fallen. The strong mystic chi immediately surged out from Wang Maple. The mythic chi condensed into a magnificent giant statue. Suddenly, Monk No Thought trembled all over, then he directly prostrated himself on the ground. This is the Dharma form of the Buddha. Even Yifeng, who was demonized, was suppressed by the Buddha's manifestation and forced to kneel. Everyone present is kneeling on the ground at this moment. Even Li Black, who has reincarnated into the Mystic Emperor stage, is also doing the same. He couldn't help but be secretly shocked. Just by relying on a Dharma form, he makes people can't help but worship him. The overbearing Buddhic chi suddenly spreads around him as the center, even reaching cultivators thousands of miles away. After feeling the breath of Buddha's manifestation, they all couldn't help but kneel down and worship. Even the Empire heir apparent Jade Emerald, who resisted desperately, still knelt down. The maid on the side quickly reminded His Highness the heir apparent that the Dharma form displayed by that person was too powerful, and we could only bow down to worship in order to avoid bursting and dying. However, Jade Emerald gritted his teeth and said that it was a great shame for this heir apparent to kneel before a mere Dharma form. How could he kowtow to it again? The maid couldn't help but sigh upon hearing this. Then she abruptly snapped the neck of the little Gagos beside her. Then she spoke again. Heir apparent, under this roof, how can one not bow their head? Jade Emerald, upon hearing this, finally lowered her head in humiliation. At the moment of kneeling, he immediately became angry. If the heir apparent were to find out who used the Dharma form, they would surely chop them into 1,000 pieces. Meanwhile, Demon Yifeng, who was suppressed by Buddha's manifestation, had clenched his fists tightly. I exhausted all my efforts to forge the demonic technique precisely, so that I wouldn't kneel before anyone. With every step of Dharma, Demon strides ahead. As soon as the words fell, Yifeng immediately displayed his own Demon Lord Dharma form. A huge raven enveloped in demonic chi instantly soared into the sky. It instead let out a provoking cry towards Buddha's manifestation. Yifeng decided to use Demon Lord Dharma form to prove to the world that the so-called evil can never prevail over righteousness is all nonsense. The Immortal Being Sect, this time, unexpectedly accepted a highly accomplished monk. Even the sect elder on the outskirts of the Forbidden Grounds. They once again exhibited a dominating aura that suppresses everything. Just now, Demon Yifeng unleashed the Demon Lord Dharma form. He attempted to break through Wang Maple's the Dharma form of the Buddha with this. But Wang Maple didn't take him seriously, and casually used the palm of the Tathagata first form. The Dharma form of the Buddha in the void also struck out a palm along with his movement. Then a clangorous sound erupted, as the two sides collided fiercely. I didn't expect Demon Lord Dharma form's sharp beak. It actually broke through the Dharma form of the Buddha's huge palm. It directly rushed toward Wang Maple. Yifeng immediately laughed when he saw the situation, thinking that you were very powerful, but it turned out to be no match for him. The incredibly sharp giant mouth of Demon Lord Dharma form instantly killed in front of Wang Maple. But at this moment, the sharp mouth of Demon Lord Dharma form suddenly shattered. Then it was followed by its huge body. They all began to crack and dissipate in the void. This is the effect of the palm of the Tathagata first form, a tremendously powerful palm wind effect. Even Yifeng, standing not far away, was killed instantly by the palm wind. No Thought's face changed drastically upon seeing this scene. Even demonization Yifeng couldn't take this palm strike. Does that mean I can't even catch a single finger of it? Get rid of the hindrance Yifeng first, then Wang Maple turned around and signaled to everyone. Get up! Lee Skyheart immediately responded unkindly. Sect leader, the oppressive Dharma form you summoned is too strong for us to even stand up. Wang Maple immediately felt embarrassed and scratched his face. He didn't expect this set of palm of the Tathagata to be so domineering. Just relying on the Dharma form could make people worship and admire. Then Wang Maple waved his hand casually. He removed the Dharma form of the Buddha on his body. The moment the pressure dissipated, everyone could barely get up. And Wang Maple took out the demon sealing order to signal. He asked the disciples to collect all their demon sealing orders. Each of you should transfer their points to your demon sealing order. At the same time, Jade Emerald, Heir Apparent, and others quickly got up from the ground. Jade Emerald, on the other hand, spoke without looking back. You have merit in saving me. You will be rewarded later. This time, I will reward you with immortality. After saying that, he suddenly took out a seal and stamped it directly on the head of the maidservant. As the mystical energy of the seal erupted, The maidservant instantly turned into a piece of jade. On the side, little Gaga saw Jade Emerald looking at him. He immediately resolutely destroyed his own eyes. Then he began to laugh maniacally, claiming that he was blind and hadn't seen anything. At the same time, the demon ceiling list on the square was refreshed once again. The points of the Immortal Being Sect and others suddenly began to soar, and cultivators immediately noticed the name of Yi Feng from the Feathered Sect. It has already disappeared. And the elder of the Feathered Sect immediately stood up and roared, "Who dares to kill the genius of our Feathered Sect?" The disciple on the side quickly spoke up to remind everyone from the Immortal Being Sect that they were just listed together. Maybe it's related to them. The elder from the Feathered Sect immediately shifted his gaze to the members of the Immortal Being Sect. Yegu Citadel immediately took a step forward and indifferently said, "It's finally my turn." When the Feathered Sect elder saw the Middle Mystic Emperor stage powerhouse killed by Simon Snowfall, his face immediately turned ugly. So he quickly spoke up, "At this stage, we cannot be sure that Immortal Being Sect is the killer of Yi Feng." The disciple on the side, however, kept on talking incessantly. But the new recruits from the Immortal Being Sect who made it to the list had their points combined, which happened to be exactly the same as the points Yi Feng originally had. As soon as the words fell, the impatient elder immediately shot out a flying feather, hitting him right between the eyebrows. Then the elder turned around indifferently. "You are trying to provoke the Feathered Sect and the Immortal Being Sect to fight. This elder will not fall for it." And Yegu Citadel couldn't help but feel a bit disappointed. Why is this person so cowardly? I haven't stretched my muscles and bones today. At the same time, no thought is helping to save those fellow disciples who have been harmed by Yi Feng. After everything was done, he thanked sect leader Wang and said, "Thank you for avenging my junior brothers. No thought will surely repay this favor in the future. I am sorry, but I cannot betray the non-formed sect." Wang Maple seems unsurprised by this. Letting you follow the seat does not mean directly asking you to betray the sect. I'm just asking you to switch to a better place for cultivation. Only by illuminating the mind and seeing one's true nature can one attain authentic truth. After you become a Buddha, the non-formed sect will only honor you. This sentence made Monk No Thought shudder uncontrollably, and he became completely determined. He gave Wang Maple a serious look, then knelt down and presented his money pouch, saying in a low voice, "No Thought wishes to join the Immortal Being Sect." After receiving the money pouch, Wang Maple, the system immediately popped up a prompt congratulating the host on successfully recruiting the Buddhist disciple No Thought monk, rewarding 30,000 sect points and one special lottery opportunity. Wang Maple directly used the special lottery opportunity, and this time he actually drew Dan and Treasure Convention. Wang Maple couldn't help but squint his eyes and exclaimed that they are destined to be together. Special reward obtained when picking up Lee Skyheart. Special reward obtained when picking up No Thought Suitable Path of the Buddha Cultivation Method Palm of the Tathagata. Suitable Dan Recipes book for Lee Skyheart. This chubby guy actually yelled, "Husband," at the sect leader in a rebellious manner. This made the man break out in a cold sweat, and his buttocks couldn't help but clench. Just now, the monk No Thought wholeheartedly joined the Immortal Being Sect. Wang Maple used the lottery opportunity gifted by the system, and obtained the secret technique Dan and Treasure Convention. Just then, he suddenly heard constant calls of, "Husband!" After Wang Maple picked the purple spiritual mythic flower. He raised his hand, and slapped Li Ching on the face. The fat guy immediately felt wronged. "Even though I have the mystic spirit turtle immortal physique, sect leader, you can't just punish me casually." Wang Maple immediately became angry and said, "How did you just address me?" Just as the fat man was about to explain, a voice calling, "Husband," sounded from the void again. Wang Maple immediately pointed his fingers together to form a sword, and a surge of killing intent rushed forth. My Immortal Being Sect does not tolerate abnormalities. Ling Fly Dancing quickly interjected to correct sect leader's earlier address. It should be "husband" instead of "senior brother." It was actually the corpses behind him that called out. Only to see those bodies, once they floated up, cried out again, "My husband, you finally came to find me." Upon hearing the voice, Wang Maple immediately dodged and lifted his sword to cut those bodies in half at the waist. One of the bodies got close to him and said, "My husband, I'll be waiting for you deep in the divine fallen ancient land." Wang Maple couldn't bear it at all. He immediately activated the overbearing the Dharma form of the Buddha and crushed these bodies. Afterward, Wang Maple couldn't help but feel a chill at the place where the mystic demon overlord had been. Through the mouths of the corpses he heard, "My husband, you're truly warped." Then, Wang Maple quickly asked the system, who exactly was calling him husband just now. But the system indicated that investigating this person's information would require 1 billion sect points. Wang Maple instantly cracked apart. 1 billion sect points? He needs such a high amount of sect points to investigate, indicating that the other party must have a significant background. And now she is deep in the divine fallen ancient land. Anyway, in case of danger, she can summon help. It's not in vain for me to come this time. After making up his mind, Wang Maple spoke up. "There are still 2 days left until the end of the demon sealing assembly. During this time, you should train on your own, while I will head alone to the depths of the divine fallen ancient land." Mu Floating Cloud was shocked and said, "Sect leader, no one has entered the divine fallen ancient land so far." But Wang Maple disagreed and interrupted. "That's because I haven't been there yet. Now, my only requirement for you is to dominate the top 5 positions on the demon sealing list." Everyone was first stunned when they heard this. Then they all saluted in unison and resolutely responded with a loud voice. "Sect leader, rest assured, we will definitely not disappoint sect leader's high expectations. We will definitely dominate the top 5 of the demon sealing list to showcase the power of our Immortal Being Sect." Before long, Wang Maple was speeding through the void and quickly delved deep into the depths of the divine fallen ancient land. As he ventured further into the divine fallen ancient land, the pressure on his body increased, and the consumption of mystic chi became faster. At that moment, he suddenly felt a violent shaking coming from the ground. At the moment he looked up and stared ahead, his face suddenly changed. What happened? How come there are so many demonic beasts? Just as the group of demonic beasts is about to charge in front of oneself, Wang Maple instantly activated the Dharma form of the Buddha and swiftly raised his hand to unleash palm of the Tathagata. The demonic beast was instantly destroyed and left nothing but a pile of bones. But after clearing the group of demonic beasts, the ground is still shaking. He looked at the sudden appearance of the huge cobra and smiled slightly. "No wonder there are so many demonic beasts running away. It turns out you are chasing them." The man possesses the Tathagata Dharma form that can suppress the geniuses of various major powers. It was unexpectedly shattered instantly by a small insect. Even the small insect almost killed him on the spot. Just now, Wang Maple encountered a fierce cobra demonic beast while delving into the divine fallen ancient land. The giant snake immediately raised its snake head, and a terrifying golden light burst out of its body at the sight of Wang Maple. Then, it suddenly flew out and pounced towards Wang Maple to bite, but Wang Maple simply slapped it down with one hand and suppressed the giant snake on the ground. Wang Maple immediately saw through the situation that this demonic beast was just a small fry. And the group of divine beasts that were feared before definitely weren't this serpent, but rather something lurking inside it. Just as the giant serpent was placed under the palm of Buddha's manifestation, only a beating heart remained. And within the heart, there was a constant thumping sound. The Dharma form of the Buddha was actually pierced directly. Seeing this scene, Wang Maple immediately became dumbfounded. He couldn't believe that the little one in front of him easily shattered his Buddha's manifestation. As the golden light dissipated, Wang Maple also saw clearly the mastermind behind it. Only a 1-inch-sized creature, looking extremely similar to a firefly, but appearing as a fantastical and unique creature like Higanbana. Wang Maple quickly asked the system what this thing was. but the system stated that querying would cost 50,000 sect points. Wang Maple did not hesitate at all. She immediately brought up a system prompt that said, "Legend has it that in the netherworld of the Yellow Springs, on the other side known as Higanbana Firefly, only one Higanbana Firefly is born in a cosmic era. This Yogwai is born with the Mystic Emperor stage cultivation level, incredibly terrifying. No one can withstand its single strike." Upon seeing the Higanbana Firefly in its juvenile stage, Wang Maple couldn't help but laugh. "Don't think that I will be afraid of you just because you can break through the Tathagata Dharma form with one strike. Can I still escape if I can't beat you?" Then Wang Maple found that Higanbana Firefly was standing stupidly in place. He immediately felt relieved. Sure enough, everything has its flaws, and speed is your fatal flaw. However, just at that moment, a strange voice suddenly sounded in his ear. In just a blink of an eye, Wang Maple found that Higanbana Firefly had actually circled around to his front. Immediately after, Higanbana Firefly suddenly shot out. Wang Maple instantly felt a huge force coming at him. This caused his whole body to fly backwards. After standing up, Wang Maple quickly asked the system how he could stop the Higanbana Firefly from attacking him. But the system's response was just one sentence: "Bonding with a master." Wang Maple was dumbfounded. How can he bond with a master? The answer is simple: feed it with blood. Wang Maple immediately clenched his fist after learning the method. "I have a way now." Then Wang Maple suddenly clapped his hands. Since the palm of the Tathagata can't deal with it, Wang Maple then used an upgraded version called the Fist of the Tathagata, striking out with his fastest speed. But the speed of the Higanbana Firefly is just too fast. It doesn't take Wang Maple seriously at all. Wang Maple immediately became angry. How dare the little firefly look down on me? I won't hide my skills anymore. Then Wang Maple suddenly opened his hand wide, and a red light burst out from the palm. I saw a blood-red Higanbana Firefly flew in front of the authentic Higanbana Firefly. The inexperienced Higanbana Firefly immediately showed hearts in its eyes, and started spinning wildly. Wang Maple immediately smiled at the sight. Since only one of them is born in the world every century, it means that the population of this species must be extremely rare. In other words, this Higanbana Firefly may never have seen an opposite sex in its lifetime. As the saying goes, heroes face difficult tasks when dealing with beautiful women. A thirsty hero will inevitably find it even more difficult to resist the temptation of a beautiful woman. As soon as the words fell, the blood-red Higanbana Firefly began to dissipate abruptly. It turned into a puddle of blood water at an extremely fast speed. Taking advantage of the Higanbana Firefly's distraction, the blood water wrapped it up. Wang Maple secretly rejoiced immediately after trapping it. Fortunately, I had previously extracted the Mystic Art Heavenly Demon Great technique from Zhu Jade Fox. He can use blood to transform into puppet creatures to entice them. Now it is as easy as pie for me to subdue this Higanbana Firefly. The Higanbana Firefly, trapped by blood, is now extremely angry, only to see its originally petite body rapidly shrinking. Then it surged directly into his body through Wang Maple's blood. At this point, Wang Maple was completely no longer calm. What is this? Hurry up and come out! The man's wife, whom he had never met, finally appeared. Just as she saw the man for the first time, the woman passionately called him husband. Just now, the legendary Higanbana Firefly, after being captured by Wang Maple, it actually climbed into his body through the wound on him. Wang Maple was completely shocked this time. Come out quickly, that's my heart. Higanbana Firefly doesn't care about Wang Maple's screams. It goes straight to his heart, and then opens its mouth to start crazily sucking his essence. Suddenly, Wang Maple felt like his whole heart was about to explode. He was chilled all over. Just then, the system suddenly sounded a prompt reporting that host Higanbana Firefly was feeding on the host's blood. Higanbana Firefly really likes your blood. Higanbana Firefly bonding with a master successful. Wang Maple finally breathed a sigh of relief. Now I command you to quickly fly out of my heart." As soon as the words fell, Higanbana Firefly instantly turned into a golden glow. Then it flew out from the wound on Wang Maple's fingertip, rapidly growing larger as it flew out. The red hairs on the Higanbana Firefly that is bonded with a master are now covered with golden light. It turns out that the huge change in the Higanbana Firefly is due to its similarity to the appearance of its master. At this moment, the Higanbana Fireflies suddenly started to flutter anxiously. Wang Maple couldn't help but be stunned when he saw this. "Are you asking me to go with you?" Higanbana Firefly nodded repeatedly, then led Wang Maple. Before long, Wang Maple arrived in front of a bronze temple covered with rust, exuding a sense of ancient desolation that instantly hit him. Wang Maple couldn't help but feel puzzled. "Why did you bring me here?" It looked strangely eerie. Just as Wang Maple's hand touched the door of the bronze temple, Wang Maple immediately felt a shock in his mind. He seemed to hear the sound of clashing swords and neighing horses next to his ears. He also seemed to see figures engaged in continuous fierce battles. In the end, it was the figure of a woman, but her figure was very blurry and could not be clearly seen at all. He could only hear the calls of a husband one after another. Just as Wang Maple wanted to take a closer look at that figure, he came back to his senses. He couldn't help but speak in a bewildered manner. "The voice that had been calling me, Hua Ban, seemed to be hidden here. It seems that you are the one sent to guide me." Immediately, Wang Maple exerted all his strength to try to push open the bronze door. But the door remained motionless, despite his efforts. After struggling for a long time, even Wang Maple couldn't help but pant heavily. Seeing the cunning expression of Higanbana Firefly, Wang Maple immediately became angry. "I haven't used my ultimate move yet. I don't believe that my palm of the Tathagata can't open this door." Just as the words fell, the Tathagata's manifestation's palm strike immediately exploded on the bronze door. However, this terrifying palm strike still didn't manage to push open the bronze door. Wang Maple was instantly defeated. "Why can't this door be opened? Stop mocking me. If you're so capable, you come and open it." Higanbana Firefly immediately showed a gratified expression. Then it suddenly bowed down and frantically flapped its wings to gather strength. Then its figure shot out violently, creating a terrifying hurricane. At the moment when the Higanbana Firefly collided with the bronze door, the door was immediately pushed open. Wang Maple couldn't help but mutter to himself when he saw this. "Fortunately, I have subdued it. Otherwise, even Mystic Emperor Stage Pinnacle wouldn't be able to withstand being bumped by it a few times." Upon entering the bronze hall, Wang Maple suddenly felt his body become significantly heavier. He suddenly began to pant heavily. The gravity here is incomparable to the outside. What kind of place is this bronze hall after all? Just as he looked forward, he immediately noticed a sparkling crystal coffin placed in the center of the hall. Around the crystal coffin, there stood 4 equally rusty bronze giant pillars. Then Wang Maple walked towards the crystal coffin very slowly. With each step he took, the gravity seemed to grow heavier. In the crystal coffin lay a woman, quietly resting within it, as if shrouded in white mist. Her captivating black hair was scattered messily around the crystal coffin, and her oval face resembled a delicate piece of art. Her eyes were tightly closed, like a sleeping beauty, as if the man hadn't had the chance to be affectionate with his unfamiliar wife yet. Unexpectedly, some tactless little Gagas came out to besiege him. Just now, Wang Maple discovered in the crystal coffin in the bronze hall a woman who looks like a banished immortal descending to the mortal realm. This woman caused an indescribable palpitation in Wang Maple's heart, as if he had known her before. Just at this moment, Jade Emerald, the heir apparent, suddenly stepped into the bronze hall and shouted, "Finally caught you!" Obviously, Jade Emerald had been following closely the whole way before. He only wanted to get rid of the person in front of him who had humiliated him. Wang Maple immediately sneered, "So you are the heir apparent. No wonder your followers are nowhere to be seen." Jade Emerald snorted coldly. "With their qualifications, they can't even enter this place. But we are different. We are the strongest geniuses in the Empire. They are Eternity Sea Sects Junior Sect Leader Gu Longji, Feathered Sects Junior Sect Leader Yu Qin. Upon hearing this, Wang Maple immediately signaled the system to open the demon sealing list. Then he laughed and said, "You dare to appear so arrogantly in front of me, the top 3 on the demon sealing list. Is this not forcing me to take action and wipe you all out in one fell swoop, so that I can achieve my goal of dominating the top 3 of the demon sealing list?" Jade Emerald was enraged as soon as he saw the Buddha's manifestation, knowing that we still dared to boast about our ranking. Earlier, he even made Heir Apparent kneel and kowtow. This guy's Buddhist sect Dharma form is very powerful. You must act swiftly and decisively. Facing the joint attack from 2 outstanding talents of the 2 great sects, Wang Maple directly raised his hand and unleashed the palm of the Tathagata. Yu Qin decisively activated the feathered cloud long to firmly entangle the divine palm. Under Yu Qin's full attack, the arm of the Buddha's manifestation was instantly immobilized. Feeling the pressure from his hand, Wang Maple couldn't help but praise. "Indeed worthy of being the sect leader, much stronger than Yi Feng from the same sect." Seizing this opportunity, Gu Longji quickly activated the mystic qi within his body. The moment his palm struck out, he unleashed the mountain-crushing wave. The terrifying water waves instantly pressed towards Buddha's manifestation. And Wang Maple was not afraid at all, a palm strike with one hand. At the moment when the two touched, a terrifying burst of scorching heat flame erupted, and the surging seawater turned into dreadful magma at that moment. The magma quickly covered and spread to the entire arm of Buddha's manifestation. Gu Longji immediately smiled upon seeing the situation. This move, mountain-crushing wave, was inspired by underwater volcanoes. Once it erupts, no one can stop it. But Wang Maple remained unfazed. "Aren't you a bit too boastful?" Gu Longji, however, remained self-assured. "Now that you have lost your position, let's see how you can utilize the palm of the Tathagata." But Wang Maple just chuckled and said, "Who said my Buddha's manifestation doesn't have palms?" As soon as the words fell, the melted Buddha's manifestation suddenly erupted with a powerful suction force, and the scorching magma was instantly sucked to the broken arm. Then, in an instant, a thicker and more powerful arm solidified compared to before. Then Buddha's manifestation suddenly moved, and the molten arm directly struck out an astonishing Buddha palm towards Gu Longji. The overbearing Buddhic qi mixed with extreme high temperature. Just in the blink of an eye, Gu Longji was smashed into pieces. Then Buddha's manifestation quickly withdrew his hand. He shifted his focus onto the white long coiled around his arm. Facing Buddha's manifestation with his arms ablaze, the white long immediately showed a human-like expression of fear. The man's proud Tathagata's divine manifestation was actually enslaved by the Empire's heir apparent. He even almost got killed by a slap from the Jade Buddha. Just now, Wang Maple single-handedly took on 2 outstanding disciples from 2 major sects. And he easily defeated them. Jade Emerald quickly signaled Yu Qin to cover for him as he made his escape. Yu Qin did not dare to delay. He quickly urged Bai Long to break free from Buddha's manifestation's control. Then Bai Long protected the 2 of them in his mouth with just one mouthful. Wang Maple saw the 2 of them trying to slip away right under their noses. Wang Maple would not let them have their way. He just raised his hand and chuckled. "None shall escape the grasp of my 5-finger mountain." The next second, a palm covered in magma instantly strikes out. The palm directly sends the 2 flying out. However, at this moment, the molten lava Buddha palm unexpectedly begins to petrify at a speed visible to the naked eye. In just a blink of an eye, the entire palm of Buddha's manifestation has turned into jade stone. It turns out that it was a jade emerald flying out in that instant. He slapped the jade seal in his hand onto the Buddha palm. And his jade seal in hand obviously has the power to petrify any object. Wang Maple did not expect that he could actually turn the entire Tathagata's manifestation into jade. In just a blink of an eye, Wang Maple lost control of the Buddha's manifestation. The Tathagata Dharma form of Juhua has become a puppet of Jade Emerald. Jade Emerald immediately regained its proud posture. The heir apparent promises 1,000 gold that after defeating you, I will make you experience the taste of being cut to pieces. The next second, Jade Tathagata suddenly lifted his foot and directly attacked Wang Maple. Wang Maple quickly used luminous jade art. He suspected that he had summoned the sword of ice to ward off this kick. But when this sword went down, it didn't cause any harm to Jade Buddha at all. Immediately, Wang Maple quickly retreated and dodged the giant foot. Then he leaped to Yu Chin's side. Then he directly threw him towards the Jade Buddha. But the Jade Buddha just kicked Yu Chin into pieces with one kick. Wang Maple immediately looked horrified at how powerful Jade Tathagata's attack was. The next moment, Jade Buddha suddenly bent down, raised his hand, and threw a swift and fierce punch. Wang Maple, who was in a daze, was caught off guard and instantly sent flying by the blow. Jade Emerald immediately burst into laughter upon seeing Wang Maple being beaten without any ability to fight back. "It seems like you've given me quite the remarkable toy," Jade Emerald remarked. However, at this moment, a golden light burst out of Wang Feng's heart. Higanbana Firefly was already furious when she saw her owner being beaten up. As the golden light surged from his heart towards his limbs, Wang Maple's injuries were instantly greatly relieved. Wang Maple didn't expect that this Higanbana Firefly would be so powerful. His bodily injuries were instantly healed. Suddenly, Wang Maple remembered the scene when Higanbana Firefly instantaneously broke through Tathagata Dharma form back then. Wang Maple then chuckled. "Now I have Higanbana Firefly. I know how to destroy this Jade Tathagata now." The Jade Emerald immediately disdainfully said, "Have you just been kicked stupid? Do you think your hand is a crossbow? Do you think pointing at me can shoot out arrows?" But Wang Maple coldly laughed. "My hand shot out something that is 1,000 times more powerful than an arrow, the Higanbana Firefly." The next second, the Higanbana Firefly shot out from Wang Maple's heart and burst out from the fingertip. Jade Emerald is not sure what was just shot out, but the aura emitted by that thing is definitely real Mystic Emperor stage energy. The next second, the indestructible Jade Tathagata was easily pierced through by the Higanbana Firefly. The boy caught the unfamiliar wife and gave her a fierce kiss. But he did not expect the girl not only gave him a passionate response, even calling him sweetly as husband. Just now, Higanbana Firefly gently bumped into it. It immediately blasted through Jade Tathagata on the spot. And Jade Emerald Heir Apparent was similarly struck hard. He was directly knocked down hard by a huge force. The jade seal in his hand also couldn't be held steady, and just fell to the ground like that. Wang Maple directly picked up the jade seal. Later, Wang Maple expressed with great interest, "Is this the seal that Skyheart mentioned? You have been abusing its power for so long. Never thought one day it would backfire on you." At the moment when the jade seal comes into contact with the body of the Jade Emerald, his body begins to petrify at a speed visible to the naked eye. Immediately, he hurriedly shouted, "How dare you try to kill me, the heir apparent? My father, the Solar Radiance Grand Emperor, will not spare you." Wang Maple suddenly picked up the jade seal and stopped the petrification process. Jade Emerald immediately burst into laughter when he saw this. "Haha, now you know fear, don't you?" But Wang Maple just smirked and said, "If I were afraid of Solar Radiance Grand Emperor, I wouldn't have killed Marquis Xianlan before." When Jade Emerald heard this, her expression immediately changed drastically. "Then why did you spare me?" While Wang Maple sneered at him and said coldly, "Who said I spared you? Haven't you noticed that something is missing from your body? Aren't you enjoying the perverted pleasure of turning people into chairs? After you completely lift the petrification state, you will enjoy an equally perverted pleasure of being shattered into pieces." As soon as the words fell, Jade Emerald's upper body fell from the jade stone. Thinking of the impending pain, he quickly begged for mercy, asking you to kill him, begging you to take his dog's life. But Wang Maple did not pay attention to his cries. He turned away indifferently, letting him fend for himself. Then Wang Maple arrived in front of the ice coffin. Then he directly pushed open the coffin lid. The woman in the ice coffin looked as if she was just asleep. Her beauty can intoxicate not only mortals, but even gods. Wang Maple did not feel the woman's breath. He also couldn't feel her heartbeat, let alone know if she was still alive. Then Wang Maple reached out and placed his fingers under the woman's nose. After a while, he let out a sigh and said, "Such a beautiful woman, it's a pity she's already dead." Just then, Higanbana fireflies suddenly stomped hard on Wang Maple's head. Wang Maple, caught off guard, fell directly into the ice coffin and then had intimate contact with the beauty. Then the woman's originally motionless body suddenly twitched. Then she rose directly from the ice coffin and hugged Wang Maple. While Wang Maple was stiff all over at this point, with a blank mind, he stood there in a daze. The woman's originally tightly closed eyes opened at this moment. They were bright eyes, shining like dazzling stars in the night sky. The confused Wang Maple finally regained consciousness. He quickly pushed the woman away with his hand. Her bright eyes immediately narrowed, resembling crescent moons. She smiled contentedly, looking cute and mischievous. Then she uttered a soft voice. "You're finally here." The man finally blended together with his previously unfamiliar wife. But at this moment, he did not know that the Immortal Being Sect was already in a crisis of being destroyed. The top experts of the Empire's top sect have already gathered together. They are determined to wipe out the Immortal Being Sect. Just now, the girl woke up from the crystal coffin and mistook Wang Maple as her husband. Although Wang Maple felt secretly delighted, he still asked aloud, "Do you know what husband means?" The girl smiled and nodded, saying, "Yes, I know. Husband is just husband. There can only be one in a lifetime." Wang Maple quickly asked the system to search for her information, but when he saw that it would cost 1 billion sect points, he immediately understood that the one who had called him husband through borrowing a corpse's mouth was her. Then Wang Maple waved his hand and said, "But I don't even know your name right now." The girl smiled and said, "I'm Yimuching. And what should I call you, sir?" After telling the other person his name, Wang Maple couldn't help but secretly mutter, "I have never seen her before, but I have a strange sense of familiarity." Most importantly, there is no trace of mystic chi fluctuations on her body, as if she were just immortal. But being able to appear in the depths of this divine fallen ancient land, lying in this bronze palace crystal coffin, can she really be just immortal? Forget it. I have this system as a cheat. Even if the sky falls, I can still escape unscathed. Since she has already awakened, I will patiently wait for the truth to surface. While Wang Maple was lost in thought, Yimuching playfully reached out her delicate snowy hand towards Wang Maple and shook it. "Husband, please take me out." Wang Maple reached out and held her hand, gently pulling her. Then with a smile on his face, he said, "In the future, wherever husband goes, you will go too. We will be inseparable in the future." 1 hour ago. Decide